Hey everyone, this is Rex. Welcome back to the kingdom. I'm going to be going over Shadowknight AAs today and for what is going to be required for swarming, and also I'm going to be doing the Shadowknight Epic Prequest for the 1.5. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It greatly helps out my channel. Have a great day. So for AA, I'm going to be going in order from the class tab down to general. Obviously, I realize if you're not max level, you're probably not going to have all of these. You will get more AA with auto grant as you level up, as long as you're not on a TLP. But these are the ones that you should get as soon as you can. So for a Shadow Knight for both tanking and swarming, you are going to want to get the max fear level that you can of Weapon Mastery of the Knight. That increases the base damage of the weapons that you wield by. Mine right now is at 60% because I'm at rank 5 due to being a heroic character. And you're going to need to get also Visage of Death to as much of a high rank that you can for your level. This will help when you first do swarming to get you the extra damage that you need to kill quickly. I also recommend getting Vicious Bites of Chaos, Touch of the Cursed max for your level. That helps a ton for surviving when you're swarming. Theft of Life is also great because you do have some instant cast life taps that you can use to help keep yourself alive. Soul Abrasion max for your level is also great and is greatly needed, as is Scourge Skin. That's a big damage shield that you can use every 15 minutes. Mortal Coil is the big one that you're going to need for swarming. That is what lets you, once you get your 2.0 for your epics, and then you hit those first in order to start killing the mobs, and that way you can stay alive by being able to absorb the damage that you're dealing. This will allow you to proc Mortal Coil, which once the epic effect wears off, that's where Mortal Coil will kick in and also increases your AC. So it is definitely required. Intense Hatred is nice. It is not distinctly required, but it is nice to help kill things faster. Harm Touch will be coming in handy for any trouble moments that you get when you're either tanking or swarming or just killing a named. So Harm Touch is important to keep max for your level. I recommend maxing out Dark Lord's Unity. It just helps a lot with self-buffing. It's not strictly required for tanking or swarming. You can cast all these by themselves. It just is much more convenient with the AA. And I also suggest getting the Cascading Theft of Life and Defense for the Archetype, starting at the bottom. Weapon Stance is great. You can get that at level 85. Weapon Affinity is also really good, and so is Veteran's Wrath for increasing the damage of your critical melee attacks. Twin Tap is nice, but it is not strictly required for swarming. It is nice for when you're tanking, but not strictly required. Getting strike through max for your level is important. That way you can have your character disregard some of the monster's defenses like dodge, block, parry, and riposte. Obviously the important ones like spellcasting mastery, reinforcement, shield flash at level 95 is a great AA to get. Shield block is nice for tanking. It's not strictly required for swarming because you're going to be using a two-hander for the most part when you're swarming. Mnemonic retention is great for more spells, so I definitely suggest getting those maxed out as quickly as possible. And get the one rank that you need of Knight Fidelity. That just helps reduce incoming melee damage by 4%, so that helps keep you alive a little bit longer. Finishing Blow is very nice when you're tanking and also somewhat when you're swarming to help finish off mobs that are already low, but everything's about to wear off, so Finishing Blow can definitely come in handy. Destructive Fury is good. Destructive Cascade is great for your dots. Obviously, the Death Piece and Death's Effigy. I prefer Death's Effigy personally over Death Piece because Death's Effigy is pretty much a guaranteed. And Critical Affliction is great. You can decide whether you want to use a pet or not when you're swarming. I typically do, so I like getting the pet AAs. Again, once you do the auto grant as you're playing on a live modern server, a lot of these will be coming to you automatically. Combat Fury is great. Cloak of Shadows is good for just utility, being able to get around easier. Burst of Power is great for both tanking and swarming. And now for general, Armor or Wisdom, you need to max that out for your level as quickly as possible. That gives you free armor class increases, which is great for swarming and tanking. Always keep combat agility and stability maxed out for your level. That is the first AAs I always max out. Obviously, maxing out innate run speed is great. Also, I recommend innate metabolism. Innate Darkblade is important to keep maxed out also, as is mystical attuning. That way you can have more buffs on you. Natural durability is also important to have maxed out. That gives you more HP, so you can live longer. And also Veterans Enhancement. Planar power, basically anything that increases your AC, HP is important to max out. So I am now going to go and show you how to start the Epic 1.5 Prequest for the Shadowknight. The first step for the Shadowknight Epic 1.5 Prequest is you need to come here to Dulax Harbor and speak to Ritald. If you are coming in from Gulf of Gunthak, which you can get to with Plane of Knowledge. All you have to do is follow the right wall, and you will come to Ritald right here. And this is what he looks like. And the phrase that you would say to him to get started on this task is, "I will take on this task." Once you do that, it flags you to where you can do the rest of the 1.5 Prequest. You will need 3 items. You'll need the Ancient Flabberg of Hatred from Captain Vern here in Dulax Harbor. You'll need Essence of Hate from either Overlord Regabasa or the Mistress of Malevolence in the Plane of Hate. And a Stormborn phylactery drops from Oladon, a level 70 Ocean Giant in the Plane of Storms. And then you'll need to bring all 3 pieces back to Ritald, but do not hail him or you might get bugged out. Once you do that, you will receive a non-functioning version of Interrux's voice. Captain Barnes spawns here in Dulax Harbor. At the very top of the map, you can see he is in these cave systems. So if you go to the very top, he's there. He is surrounded by mobs though, and there was also a named here when I got here, so I had to kill a named. And he did have the ad next to him that aggroed also when I walked up to him. You have to hail him to start the fight. You can't just start to attack him. Your spells won't take effect unless you hail him first. But it was a fairly easy fight, especially for a level 85 with a full group. The next piece in Hate is going to be a little bit more of a time sink and it's not going to be any harder, especially for like around level 85. All the mobs in Plane of Hate B are really easy. But the 2 mobs that will drop what you need is, again, Overlord Ragabasa and the Mistress of Malevolence, which the Overlord is down here at the bottom of the Plane of Hate map, almost fairly close, but to the left of Interrux's room. And then the Mistress is just right here, and on the map it's above and to the left. They may or may not be up when you get there. If they are not, you are just going to have to keep killing placeholders until they spawn, and then that way you can kill them. And it's not always a guaranteed drop, so you might be here a little while. Right now I'm on my mage. I have my Shadowknight at the other spawn, and so this is the Mistress of Malevolence, and again, she spawns right here on the map at the bottom left, fairly close to Innie's room, so there's no guarantee that she's going to drop the item, but I'm gonna go ahead and kill her, and then hopefully she'll drop the essence, and then I can get my Shadowknight over here. And let's see, it looks like she dropped the Essence of Hate. So that is exactly what I needed, and I'm going to go ahead and go get my Shadowknight to loot this right now. This is Oladon. He is the last mob that you need for the prequest for the Shadowknight Epic 1.5. On the map, he is located here. If you go straight from where you zone in to across 2 rivers to this building here. This is where you'll find Oldon. He is surrounded by... Okay, so now I can go ahead and kill Oldon. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my Bond of Lethargic Bite to get just a little bit of mana back. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and get Vicious Bite of Chaos for some extra mana and HP back. Not that it's really required at this point, but it's good to be thorough. And I'm gonna do my normal rotation, Torrent of Hate. Gonna go ahead and do Touch of Lannis. Another Dire Application. Touch of Therot. And just because I can, I'm gonna put on Malarian Skin. The last item I needed was the Stormborn phylactery, which is this item right here. So go ahead and loot this. And then now I can go back to Dulax Harbor and complete the epic 1.5 Prequest. I will see you there. Here I am back at Ritald. I'm going to go ahead and turn in my 3 items that I looted for the Prequest. Remember to not respond after you give him the items, or else you will possibly bug out the quest and have to do it all over. Do not hail him or you will bug out the quest. Instead, just respond with, I have done it, and you will get a non-functioning version of Enerux's voice that will allow you to move on to the actual 1.5 epic quest. Thank you for watching, and again, if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Hope you stay safe and have a great time in Norath.